Welcome, dear friends, to Zen Whispers. Today we delve into a profound question that touches every heart. Why do people hurt us? Why do relationships meant for joy sometimes bring us such deep sorrow? We often search for answers in anger or blame, but Buddhist wisdom offers a different path, one of understanding and liberation. Through the lens of karma, we'll explore how our experiences, both painful and pleasant, are intricately woven into the tapestry of existence. This isn't about guilt or punishment, but about recognizing the universal law of cause and effect. It's about finding peace amidst the storms of human connection and cultivating compassion, even for those who wound us. Let us begin with a story, a simple tale that illuminates these ancient truths and guides us toward healing. In a quiet village nestled beside a whispering river lived a woman named Elara. Her heart was tender, and her spirit was bright. She poured her kindness into every interaction, expecting nothing but harmony in return. Yet, sorrow found its way to her door. Her closest friend, with whom she had shared countless laughs and confidences, suddenly turned cold and distant. Words of casual cruelty replaced warmth, and actions of disregard chipped away at Elara's trust. Elara was bewildered. Why, she wondered, her heart aching. What have I done to deserve this pain? She retreated into herself, replaying every conversation, searching for a fault, a misstep, anything that could explain this betrayal. The pain felt like a heavy stone in her chest, pressing down, making it hard to breathe, hard to see the beauty in the world. One evening, sitting by the river, her tears mingled with its flowing waters. An elder from the village, known for his wisdom, approached her. "Elara," he said gently, his voice like the soft rustle of leaves, "your pain is palpable, like a visible shroud." "I don't understand, elder," she whispered. "I offered only kindness and received only hurt." The elder sat beside her, gazing at the river. "The river flows, Elara, carrying all that enters it, both pure and impure. It does not question why a leaf falls or why a stone is tossed. It simply carries. So too does life carry our actions. This is the essence of karma, not a punishment from an external force, but the natural consequence of our intentions and deeds. Every thought, every word, every action creates an energy, a ripple that eventually returns to us, sometimes in unexpected ways." Elara looked at him, her brow furrowed. "Are you saying I caused this pain, elder?" "Not in this moment, perhaps, nor in this specific interaction," he clarified. "But the tapestry of karma is vast, stretching beyond one lifetime. We are all born with a unique set of karmic imprints, the echoes of past actions, shaping our tendencies and the experiences we draw to ourselves. The person who hurts you today might be experiencing their own karmic ripening, or perhaps you are experiencing the ripening of a seed you planted long ago. This doesn't absolve them of their actions, but it helps us understand the interconnectedness of all beings." Elara pondered this. It was a challenging concept, moving beyond simple blame. "So, what can I do?" she asked. "You cannot control the actions of others, Elara," the elder replied, but you can control your response. This moment, this pain, is an opportunity for growth, a chance to cultivate compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. He continued, think of it as tending a garden. If you plant seeds of anger and resentment, that is what will grow. But if you choose to plant seeds of forgiveness, understanding, and love, even in difficult soil, those are the fruits you will eventually harvest. Elara began to practice. She started by acknowledging her pain, not suppressing it, but observing it like a cloud passing in the sky. She learned about impermanence, understanding that emotions, like all phenomena, arise and pass away. She realized that clinging to anger was like holding on to a hot coal, hoping to throw it at someone else, only to burn herself. The elder also spoke of non-attachment. Our suffering often arises from our attachment to how things should be. We attach to expectations, to outcomes, to the idea of a perfect relationship, and when reality differs, we feel shattered. Release the grip of expectation, Elara. Allow things to be as they are, without judgment, without clinging. This was the hardest lesson. Letting go of the image of her friend, letting go of the past, letting go of the desire for things to revert. But as she practiced, a subtle shift occurred within her. The heavy stone in her chest began to lighten. She started sending thoughts of kindness to her friend, not to rekindle the friendship, but to release her own bitterness. She understood that her friend's actions, however hurtful, likely stemmed from their own suffering, their own karmic struggles. Compassion bloomed in her heart, not as pity, but as a deep understanding of shared humanity and shared vulnerability. One day, months later, Elara encountered her former friend in the village market. There was no anger, no accusation in Elara's heart, only a quiet sense of peace. Her friend, sensing this shift, looked at Elara with a flicker of regret in their eyes. Elara offered a gentle smile, a gesture of quiet forgiveness, not necessarily for her friend, but for herself. She had freed herself from the prison of resentment, and in doing so, had created space for new joy in her life. The relationship with her friend did not magically heal and return to what it once was. Sometimes that is the reality of impermanence. But Elara was no longer bound by the hurt. She had transformed the pain into wisdom, the anger into understanding. She learned that when people hurt us, it is often a reflection of their own inner turmoil, their own karmic journey. And our response to that hurt is our opportunity to shape our own karma, to choose peace over pain, compassion over bitterness. The first is the undeniable truth of cause and effect. Every action, thought, and word we generate creates a ripple. These ripples eventually return to us, shaping our experiences and the people we encounter. This isn't about blaming the victim, but about empowering us to understand our role in the cosmic dance. When someone hurts us, it may be a karmic seed ripening from a past action, either ours or theirs. It's a complex interplay, and often the most painful experiences are the ones that offer the greatest lessons. Second, we learn about impermanence. All relationships, all emotions, all situations are constantly changing. Clinging to what was or to what we wish would be only creates more suffering when reality inevitably shifts. Acceptance of impermanence allows us to embrace the present moment, even if it is painful, with a sense of equanimity. Third, the cultivation of compassion. When we realize that everyone is navigating their own karmic journey, often with unseen burdens, it becomes easier to extend compassion, even to those who cause us pain. Their actions often stem from their own suffering. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but it allows us to detach from the anger and find a path to inner peace. Fourth, forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's actions. It is a gift we give to ourselves. It is releasing the burden of resentment and anger, which only harms us, not the one who inflicted the pain. Forgiveness allows us to break free from the cycle of suffering and cultivate a heart full of spaciousness and peace. Fifth, non-attachment. Our attachments to people, to outcomes, to the idea of how things should be, are often the root of our suffering. When we release these attachments, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of freedom and inner stability. We learn to appreciate relationships for what they are in the present moment, without clinging to the past or demanding a specific future. Finally, the power of our intentions. Every moment presents an opportunity to plant new karmic seeds. When we respond to hurt with understanding, to anger with peace, to blame with forgiveness, we are actively shaping our future experiences. We are choosing to cultivate positive karma, not for external reward, but for the profound inner peace it brings. Consider asking, what can I learn from this? How can I respond with wisdom and compassion? This perspective doesn't diminish your pain, but it transforms it, offering a path towards profound healing and growth. You are not a passive recipient of karma. You are an active participant, continually shaping your reality with your choices. May you find the strength to navigate the complexities of relationships with an open heart and a clear mind. May you release the burdens of past hurts and embrace the freedom that comes with understanding and forgiveness. And may your journey be filled with peace, compassion, and boundless love. Thank you for joining us on Zen Whispers. Let us continue Elara's story, for her journey did not end with the lesson of her friend's betrayal. Having found a measure of peace, she was ready for the next layer of truth to be revealed to her. Some years later, a new family moved into the village, a young woman and her child, who had lost their home in a fire. Elara, with her newly compassionate heart, was among the first to welcome them. She offered them shelter in her own small home and shared what little food she had. The young woman, named Maya, was grateful at first, but soon her gratitude turned into a subtle entitlement. She began to take Elara's kindness for granted, demanding more than was offered, speaking with a sharp and ungrateful tone. Elara's old pain, the one she had worked so hard to heal, began to stir. Why is this happening again? She thought. I am trying to do good. Why am I met with this? She sought out the elder once more, her heart heavy, though not with the same anguish as before. Elder, she said, I have followed your counsel. I have tried to be compassionate, yet I am still met with hurt. The elder smiled softly. The river flows, Elara, and sometimes it encounters jagged rocks. This is not a punishment for the river. It is simply the nature of the path. Your kindness does not guarantee that others will be kind in return. But your kindness is not for them alone. It is for you. It is the action of a peaceful heart, regardless of the outcome. This is the practice of unconditional compassion. It is love that does not ask for anything in return. The karmic fruit of your actions is not in how Maya treats you. It is in the peace and purity of your own heart. The pain you feel is not a result of your kindness. It is a result of your clinging to an expectation of a certain outcome. You expected your selfless action to lead to gratitude. That expectation became an attachment. And the moment that expectation was not met, suffering arose. This is the truth of our relationships. We hurt because we are attached to an idea of who people are or how they should behave. They, in turn, hurt us because they are attached to their own suffering, their own fears, and their own needs. These attachments are the real source of the pain, not the external action itself. Elara sat with this new wisdom. The elder continued, Consider the emptiness of the self, Elara. The you who feels hurt is not a solid, unchanging entity. It is a collection of thoughts, feelings, and sensations that are constantly in flux. The Maya who is causing the hurt is also not a solid, unchanging entity. She is a transient being, acting from a place of ignorance and pain. When we see the impermanence and emptiness of both self and other, the personal sting of the hurt begins to fade. It becomes a universal experience of cause and effect, rather than a personal affront. Elara returned home and continued to practice unconditional kindness. She began to see Maya not as an enemy, but as a person lost in her own suffering. She no longer felt the need to correct Maya's behavior or to receive gratitude. She simply offered what she could with a peaceful heart, understanding that her karma was her own to cultivate. And in a remarkable shift, as Elara's expectations lessened, Maya's attitude began to soften. Sensing no defensiveness or need for control from Elara, Maya's own defensiveness began to dissolve. She began to open up, sharing her story of grief and loss, the source of her sharp words and demanding nature. Elara's acceptance without judgment created the space for a new, more honest relationship to form. It was not the perfect friendship she had imagined, but it was a relationship built on genuine, unconditional compassion. The first truth is that our suffering comes not from the external event, but from our internal reaction to it. When someone hurts us, we often add layers of suffering through our thoughts. This is unfair. I don't deserve this. These thoughts are like sharp stones that we hold in our hands. while the original hurt was simply a pebble. The second truth is that every interaction is a mirror. The anger, resentment, or pain we feel is a reflection. It shows us where we are still holding on to expectations, where we are still clinging to a sense of control. The person who hurts us is, in a way, a teacher, revealing our own unhealed wounds. The third truth is the deep interconnectedness of all beings. We are not separate islands. The pain of the person who hurts us is a part of the same human web of suffering that our own pain comes from. This understanding is not meant to excuse their actions, but to broaden our perspective and cultivate a sense of shared humanity. Fourth, the practice of forgiveness is not an event, but a continuous process. It is a moment-by-moment choice to release the resentment and return to a state of peace, no matter how many times we have to begin again. Each time we release, we are planting new, wholesome karmic seeds, paving the way for a more peaceful future. Finally, the ultimate teaching is that our own liberation is in our hands. We cannot change the past. We cannot control the actions of others, but we can choose how we respond in this very moment. We can choose to respond with wisdom, with compassion, with a calm heart, and with the understanding that every experience is a lesson. This is the true power of karma. It empowers us to create a future filled with peace, regardless of the past. Recognize that the first sharp sting is the pain itself. The second layer, the story we tell ourselves about the pain, is the suffering we can release. Practice the compassion that Elara learned, understanding that the other person is also a human being. They are navigating their own karmic patterns, their own fears and struggles, just like you. Practice non-attachment by releasing your expectations of how the person should have behaved. Let go of the desire for an apology, for justice, for a different outcome. Instead, focus on your own inner peace. Your peace is your greatest treasure. And if you find yourself struggling to forgive, remember that forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. It is a release, a letting go of the heavy stone of anger that weighs down your heart. In doing so, you are creating a new karmic reality for yourself, a reality of peace, of freedom, of inner harmony. The path of Elara is the path of all of us. We will all encounter jagged rocks in the river of life. The question is not whether the rocks will be there, but whether we will allow them to break us or to polish us into something stronger. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that they are here to polish us. They are here to help us grow in wisdom and compassion. They are an opportunity to plant the seeds of peace, even in the most challenging moments. When we understand karma, we see that we are not victims, but co-creators of our reality. We are not trapped by the actions of others, but we are empowered by our own choices. May you find the courage to see the truth of impermanence in all your relationships. May you find the wisdom to let go of your attachments and expectations. May you cultivate the boundless compassion that extends to yourself and to all beings. And may you be filled with a deep and lasting inner peace, knowing that you hold the keys to your own freedom. The next time someone hurts you, pause for a moment before reacting. Take a deep breath. Now, let's take a moment together to put these teachings into practice. Find a comfortable position. Gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. And exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension you may be holding. Breathe in peace, breathe out any lingering hurt or anger. Inhale calm, exhale tension. Now, bring to your mind a relationship that has caused you pain. See the person who hurt you in your mind's eye. Notice the feelings that arise in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach? Acknowledge these feelings without judgment. They are simply sensations arising and passing like clouds in the sky. Now, with the wisdom of Elara's story, see if you can find a tiny space between the hurt and your reaction. In that space, breathe. Remind yourself, this is a karmic moment. This is cause and effect in action. Now, send a thought of compassion to the person who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because all beings deserve to be free from suffering. Silently say to yourself or to them, may you be free from suffering. May you be free from the causes of your pain. This is not about excusing their actions. It is about releasing your own heart from the prison of resentment. Now bring the compassion back to yourself. You have experienced pain, and your heart is worthy of healing. Gently place a hand on your heart and say, may I be free from my suffering. May my heart be filled with peace. Allow a sense of inner spaciousness to fill your chest. Acknowledge that the hurt is impermanent. It is a lesson, and you have the power to transform it into wisdom. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this sense of peace and understanding with you throughout your day. Remember the story of Elara and the wisdom of the elder. The river of life will always flow. But your true power lies not in controlling the river, but in cultivating peace within yourself. Thank you for joining us on this journey of healing and transformation. We hope this wisdom offers you a path toward inner peace and more compassionate relationships. Join us next time on Zen Whispers for more lessons on living a life of peace and purpose.